Great Scott, I did it!
Eric,
Oh, hey, Mayor, you got my message. Thanks for coming.
I got your message, but I would have been here sooner, but I couldn't find my skateboard.
Don't need money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train.
Well, hey, Mayor, I know what you want to talk about at the state of the city. You know, growth, transportation, infrastructure, affordable housing, all these things our town is dealing with right now. Well, you know what? Franklin was dealing with this 30 years ago. Just like when all this was farmland, as far as the eye can see.
Really? People were having the same problem then as we are today?
Yes, that and lots more. I know. I saw it with my own eyes.
How?
Well, I built a time machine.
You got a DeLorean just like the movie?
Precisely.
Let's go!
All right, let's take a ride. Settings, 1988. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my name is Wink Martindale, and I'll be your back-in-time tour guide. So if you're ready, let's go. Back in 1988, George Bush defeated Michael Dukakis for the presidency of the United States. The first major computer virus infects computers connected to the internet. And you could see Back to the Future replays at the Franklin Theater for $2. Franklin's Main Street certainly wasn't as pretty, but big changes were on the way. Back then, a brand new home in a new neighborhood called Buckingham Park would cost you about $150,000. Let's start our Franklin journey back in time in January 1988. The mayor recommended a moratorium on annexations and rezonings. Yes, folks, some people didn't like growth even back then either. Since 1980, Franklin had annexed more than 9,000 acres into its corporate limits. The mayor said enough land already exists in city zones to satisfy things for a while. City services are not adequate for the vacant land recently annexed. But later that month, the moratorium didn't McFly. Franklin aldermen abandoned it in a 3-5 vote. One alderman said a halt on rezonings would discourage industrial and commercial development in the city, which provides a vital tax base. Growth continued to challenge city leaders. Consultants told them the next 22 years were going to cost close to $200 million to be spent on schools, roads, wastewater, and more. The consultants' report said, while growth offers greater economic opportunity, it also brings a greater burden in maintaining the quality of life. They estimated the population to be 57,500 by 2010. They weren't far off, were they? Affordable housing was on the minds of city leaders back then as well. In 1990, then chairwoman of the House and Human Needs Committee said many low and moderate income employees of local businesses and industries faced an acute shortage of available homes in the $45,000 to $75,000 price range. City officials suggested establishing a nonprofit corporation to coordinate efforts. Looks like the need for affordable housing continues to this day. Back in the late 80s, citizens were steamed over roads and traffic too. With a new mall being built on farmland in Cool Springs, city leaders in Franklin and Brentwood needed roadways to accommodate the coming traffic and new highway access built off I-65. Close to the same time in the early 90s, Streetscape was breaking ground on Franklin's Main Street. Tennessee Governor Ned McWhirter was there with a box of Nilla wafers in hand to kick off the project. Main Street was torn up for months, and shoppers had to enter stores through the back door. Some folks didn't like the change and thought things should have stayed the same. Boy, if they had social media back then, city leaders would have gotten an earful. Thank you for joining me for this trip back in time. And by the way, Mr. Mayor, good luck on your State of the City address. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Thanks, Wink.
Wow, that was some ride. Boy, that Wink Martindale, you know, he looks exactly the same as he did back then. Wonder what kind of time machine he has.
Isn't that the truth? You know, I've learned a lot from the decisions that were made 30 years ago, and Yeah, I can't wait to tell everyone what we saw. Can we set the time for tomorrow morning for State of the City?
Eureka! A time machine that goes into the future. Why didn't I think of that before? Let's give it a shot.
But before we go, you might take that ridiculous thing off.
Oh, yeah.